Stanley Tookie Williams. His name stands among the likes of Desmond Tutu, the Dalai Lama, and Mother Teresa, figures who have championed peace, redemption, and change. Yet, Stanley Tookie Williams' path to recognition couldn't have been more different. Once a notorious gang leader, he spent years behind bars transforming himself into an advocate against violence, writing children's books, and inspiring hope. But on a fateful December night in 2005, even the powerful legacy he built couldn't prevent what was to come. The story begins in 1979 with a string of violent crimes that would haunt Williams for the rest of his life. High on PCP, he and 3 accomplices embarked on a chilling spree. At a 7-Eleven, Williams forced 26-year-old Albert Owens to his knees and shot him in the back. As Owens lay dying, Williams mocked the sounds he made. Only days later, Williams struck again, this time killing an immigrant Chinese couple and their daughter in a brutal motel robbery that yielded less than $100. Years later, after multiple appeals and decades on death row, the day of reckoning arrived. For prisoners on death row, there's no special treatment, not even on their last day. Williams started his morning with oatmeal and milk, like any other, but by midday, his legal team was still working feverishly, presenting evidence of his transformation to stay the execution. Williams had become a vocal advocate against gang violence, penning books like Tookie's New Year's Resolution and Gangs and How to Avoid Them. He even established a foundation aimed at steering youth away from gangs. Supporters, including celebrities like Jamie Foxx, Snoop Dogg, and Danny Glover, joined the fight for clemency. But opponents saw him differently. Law enforcement officials labeled him a fraud, claiming he had not truly renounced his past, citing his refusal to break the code of silence by revealing gang secrets. Adding an unusual twist, the case intersected with then-Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger. Decades earlier, Schwarzenegger and Williams had crossed paths on Venice Beach, where Williams, then a fitness enthusiast, had caught the governor's attention. Williams hoped this connection might inspire Schwarzenegger to see his transformation, but ultimately, it made no difference. The California Supreme Court, the U.S. Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, and the U.S. Supreme Court all denied his appeals. By the evening, Williams met with a small circle of visitors, including Fred Davis Jackson, a longtime friend. Despite the grim circumstances, Williams remained calm, offering each visitor a private farewell. He declined a final meal, taking only water and milk as if holding on to his dignity in the face of death. At 9:30 p.m., his lawyers made one final attempt, citing a new witness who claimed Williams had been framed. But Schwarzenegger swiftly denied the appeal, sealing Williams' fate. When the clock struck midnight, Williams walked into the execution chamber, a sterile room illuminated with pale light. Lying on the gurney, he endured the awkward fumbling of staff struggling to insert an IV line. After 20 minutes of attempts, the execution proceeded. At 12:21 a.m., the first drug flowed into his veins, rendering him unconscious. Minutes later, the remaining chemicals stopped his breathing and his heart. By 12:35 a.m., Stanley Williams was pronounced dead. If you're enjoying this video so far, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. For his supporters, the execution was a tragedy. Among them was Barbara Becknell, who had worked tirelessly to document his transformation. "The state of California just killed an innocent man," she cried. Outside, 2,000 protesters echoed her anguish, chanting, "Tookie must live!" Williams' story raises difficult questions about redemption and justice. Was his transformation enough to outweigh his past crimes? Could his life have served more purpose alive as a symbol of change than as a grim reminder of the state's retributive justice? His death left a legacy as polarizing as his life. For some, he remains a cautionary tale of unfulfilled redemption. For others, he's an emblem of hope, a man who sought to rewrite his story against insurmountable odds. A complex legacy and a divided society. In the weeks following his execution, debates about Williams' life and death dominated headlines and coffee shop conversations. The reactions highlighted the deep divisions in society over the death penalty and what it means to atone for past wrongs. Supporters of the execution argued that no amount of change could erase the pain he inflicted on his victims' families. For them, justice was about closure and ensuring that those who commit heinous crimes pay the ultimate price. The gruesome details of his crimes, recounted in court and retold in the media, were a painful reminder of lives cut short and families shattered. Yet his supporters pointed to the man he became while incarcerated. The books he wrote were not just words on a page, they were lessons for children growing up in neighborhoods plagued by violence. Teachers across the country used them in classrooms, hoping to steer at-risk youth toward better choices. His work in prison wasn't just a personal transformation, it was a lifeline for others. Can redemption change the past? The heart of the debate revolves around a profound question: can redemption ever truly erase the past? Williams' transformation was undeniable. He dedicated his final years to anti-violence advocacy, creating a blueprint for change that resonated with young people worldwide. Nobel Peace Prize nominations highlighted his global impact, even as critics dismissed them as symbolic gestures. But his refusal to snitch or cooperate with authorities in dismantling the Crips cast a long shadow. To some, it undermined his claims of reform. To others, it demonstrated the complex code of honor he lived by, a code that, for better or worse, shaped his actions until the very end. The broader implications: Williams' execution also shined a harsh light on the U.S. justice system. Critics argued that the process was less about justice and more about politics, particularly for Governor Schwarzenegger. With his political career under scrutiny, some accused him of using the execution to appear tough on crime. On the other hand, advocates for the death penalty saw the case as a rare instance where the system worked as intended. Despite years of appeals and international pressure, they believed Williams' punishment fit his crimes. What we take away. Stanley Tookie Williams' story isn't easily categorized. He was both a ruthless gang leader and a man who worked tirelessly to make amends. His life and death force us to confront uncomfortable truths about forgiveness, accountability, and the capacity for change. His legacy lives on, not just in the books he wrote or the debates he ignited, but in the lives of those he touched. Teachers still use his stories to educate children about the dangers of gang life. Activists point to his journey as proof that even the most broken lives can be mended. But his story also serves as a stark reminder of the finality of the death penalty. Whether you see it as justice served or a life wasted, one thing is certain: Stanley Williams' life and death continue to challenge us to think deeply about the balance between justice and redemption. So, where do you stand? Is society better served by punishment or by giving individuals the chance to transform? Should a person's redemption matter in the face of their past crimes? Let's hear your thoughts. Share your perspective in the comments below and be part of this vital conversation. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos. Also, don't forget to join our YouTube membership team for more exclusive content.